Israel has delivered a blunt two-word ultimatum to Britain, a move so severe it threatens to unravel a 75-year alliance overnight. No back channels, no diplomacy. Just 2 words, diplomatic war. That single phrase has thrown Downing Street into chaos and pushed Keir Starmer's government into panic mode.
At this very moment, British intelligence chiefs are holding crisis talks, NATO is tightening its defenses, and governments across the Middle East are bracing for fallout.
How could just 2 words shake the world order? Let's break it down. Israel's prime minister didn't send a formal protest or private warning, he simply told London, diplomatic war. Then, silence. Within minutes, lights went dark in key government buildings. Emergency protocols kicked in. Cabinet ministers rushed into Downing Street. Intelligence sharing with Israel cut off. The shocking part? Britain knew something was coming.
When Starmer recognized Palestine as a sovereign state, his team warned that Israel would retaliate. But no one expected a response this blunt, this rapid, or this public.
One senior aide reportedly said, "We braced for pressure, not all-out diplomatic warfare." And the timing couldn't be worse for Britain.
Europe is facing its highest terror threat in years, and the UK relies heavily on Israeli intelligence to track terror financing, sleeper cells, and cross-border threats.
Without it, British security agencies are suddenly operating blind. As one MI6 officer put it, it's like losing half our early warning system overnight. Washington is in meltdown.
The White House has held multiple emergency meetings, and Secretary of State Antony Blinken scrapped his Asia trip to make urgent calls. One U.S. official even described this as the biggest rupture in Western intelligence since World War II, not exaggeration, but a genuine security assessment.
Here's why: NATO intelligence sharing is built like a 3-legged stool. Britain provides human networks, Israel delivers technical monitoring and regional expertise, and America ties it all together. If London and Tel Aviv stop cooperating, the entire structure weakens.
France has already offered to mediate, a sign of just how worried European capitals are.
And Israel may go even further. Leaked reports suggest it's prepared to expose Britain's intelligence blind spots to other nations, turning decades of shared secrets into weapons.
Former CIA Director John Brennan called this nuclear warfare by intelligence, warning that once allies weaponize each other's secrets, trust across the alliance system collapses for decades.
European leaders are scrambling. Germany's foreign minister cut short her travel plans.
France's President Macron spent 2 tense hours on a call with Starmer and Netanyahu, with no breakthrough. Even Switzerland, the ultimate neutral broker, has offered to host emergency mediation, something they only do when they believe European stability is at risk. But here's the plot twist no one predicted. The British public is backing Starmer. A new poll shows 2/3 of voters support recognizing Palestine, even if it means losing Israeli intelligence support.
More than half even say they're willing to risk national security in order to stand on principle. For a country that usually avoids direct confrontation with allies, this is unprecedented. That surge of public support is shielding Starmer politically. Instead of collapsing, Labour's poll numbers are climbing.
Conservatives are trying to paint him as reckless, but voters seem to prefer a moral stand over cautious diplomacy.
The economic stakes are just as high.
Starmer is betting that Arab states will reward Britain's move with massive investments, and the gamble might already be paying off.
Saudi Arabia's crown prince has offered expanded economic ties. The UAE has greenlit long-delayed infrastructure projects. Qatar is preparing to triple investments in UK renewables. Morocco is opening up new trade channels. These aren't symbolic gestures, they could reshape Britain's economy for decades. But Israel has countermeasures. Intelligence sources say Tel Aviv has mapped out 5 escalating levels of retaliation. We're only at level 2. Level 3 involves cyber attacks on UK infrastructure. Level 4?
Handing Britain's vulnerabilities to hostile states. Level 5, the so-called nuclear option, means cutting all intelligence ties, rallying allies against Britain, and pressuring Washington to downgrade Britain's security clearance. If that happens, the UK's special relationship with the US could collapse.
Already, some American lawmakers are questioning whether Britain can still be trusted with classified intel after distancing itself from Israel.
That's a dangerous signal, because it means this crisis could outlast Biden, Starmer, or Netanyahu reshaping alliances for an entire generation.
Inside Downing Street, Starmer's advisors are split.
Foreign Secretary David Lammy is pushing for a compromise, perhaps delaying the recognition ceremony or excluding Hamas-controlled areas.
Deputy PM Angela Rayner wants the opposite, to double down and even recognize Gaza as independent Palestinian territory. That would escalate tensions from diplomatic standoff to possible military flashpoint. For now, Starmer remains calm, poring over intelligence briefings, trying to answer one haunting question: can Britain protect itself without Israeli cooperation?
His answer will shape Britain's place in the world for decades.
Meanwhile, intelligence agencies everywhere are running war games. What if Israel hands UK secrets to Iran? What if Arab nations force Britain to permanently choose sides? What if NATO fractures beyond repair?
The nightmare scenario is cascading alliance failures, a domino effect that collapses Europe's security architecture in months.
But there's another possibility. What if Starmer is right? What if closer ties with Arab nations give Britain even better intelligence on modern threats? What if Riyadh and Abu Dhabi replace Tel Aviv as the new hubs of counterterrorism? If that happens, Starmer won't be remembered as reckless, but as a visionary who rewrote global security. Here's the bottom line.
Either Britain emerges as the bold architect of a new Middle East peace and economic order, or Starmer becomes the man who destroyed the UK's most vital security partnership.
There's no middle ground. Just two radically different futures. The world is watching every move. History is being written right now.
And two words, diplomatic war, just changed everything.
This crisis is still evolving hour by hour. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.
Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more in-depth political commentary, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive into the world of power and politics.
Thanks for watching.